The AM Superhet receiver project. Let the wiring begin. I'm back with you again, YouTube. It's Sunday at 1:51 in the afternoon. I was in earlier and made the video on changing the coils around, and that's what I have now. Now, first thing I want to do before I put any components in is wire some things up that can be wired basically without any components. And you'll see on the schematic, I'm trying to point this out here as we go. The tuning capacitor goes from the one end goes to the ferrite rod antenna, and that's not going to be put in at this time. It's going to be the last thing I put in because it sticks over the board and it's going to cause some problems, I think, getting things in. So basically the other end goes right directly to the oscillator coil, which we can see that here. It will go to this pin here, and the actual other pin goes out the other side to ground, and the ground is going to run along the bottom here. I can put a ground bus in there if I want to, but the middle wire, middle peg, middle pin, whatever you want to call it, goes to a 10 nanofarad capacitor and ends up going back to the oscillator, which is here. And that will be, you know, I don't want to put the 10 nanofarad. I'm just trying to put in things that I can put in without doing anything else. In other words, I can connect these two together. There's nothing in there, no components, no nothing. The IF cans can all be soldered in, at least one peg on them. Pin 3 of the every one of the IF coils do not connect to anything. They can be soldered to the pad that's there to help hold them. Also the middle ground lugs, whatever you want to call those can be soldered in, and that will, between the two, that will help hold the IF cans in. Now the oscillator is kind of the same way. It can be held in, or it can be soldered to a ground connection here, and that means it connects directly to the case is what it connects to. So that's all we have to do there. Same as the third IF is the same way. It connects to the case because it's ground, and then we'll connect the ground or case to ground. The other item that I'm thinking about here is the if you guys recall this from where the tuning capacitor came, the radio, there is a nice big long ground loop around the tuning capacitor. It includes the screws. It goes to ground, and also this goes to ground right here. This is the middle of the tuning capacitor itself. That goes right back to it too. So I'm thinking about trying to wire up I'm trying to find me a washer that will fit around that fairly nicely, and I can solder wire to each side and make it come around the screws, and we'll get that done. That's another thing can be worked on. That's you know, but things like that require no components is the things that I'm going to concentrate on. I have the soldering iron heating up as we speak. So that's what I'm looking to do first. I am back once more. It is 2:08 in the afternoon. I have the connections made on the IF cans. This is the this would be pin number 4. It goes down to the diodes. This is the ground lug for the case. This is pin number 3, which doesn't go anywhere. And those are all in. Now this one's bent over. It's going to basically attach to this. I'll run a wire between here and there. I may bend it back like it was and just put a circle around the wire. I do that a lot when I do these kinds of installs. So, And that's that. And the middle one, the second IF, is basically the same thing. It's got the middle lug, or the ground lug, attached there. This is the one that does connect to anything. There's no other connections I can make this time. Same with the first IF. It's the same exact way. So those are all in pretty good. They're solid in there, and so those don't have to be done anything else to. Next, I'm going to work on the oscillator. Now it's got to do a little more connections. It's got to connect to the tuning capacitor on the pin that connects to the closest there. And I've got to determine which is which on this. I think I'm looking at the what do you call it? That's going to depend on how that's laid out, because as you can see here, the oscillator coil is on this side. Now, is this looking at the top or the bottom? That's the problem I'm having here. On which obviously we know the middle one is the ground, but one goes to the antenna and the other goes to the oscillator coil. We have to determine which one that is. There is some values on the things here. I don't know that that's going to matter very much. It looks like it may be, well, they're similar here, but I don't think they're similar to the top. So I'm gonna have to determine that, which one is which, and go from there. Now there is a red mark on the, and I think that indicates the red one goes to the red coil, which would be the oscillator, and it may even be stated on there. I'll have to look at it a little closer. If so, I think it's this one here. So I'll just have to look a little closer and find out what I can come up with, and I'll let you know. Alright, back with you again. Now this is causing me a little bit of a concern. This is the foil side of the circuit board where this tuning capacitor came out of. Now it's going to be mounted opposite of this, because this would be the back side of it, I think. In other words, the screws go in this side, the tuning thing is on this side, the dial is on this side, and that would mean that this side is the actual way it's laid out right at the moment. But of course it would be upside down from that, because that's the way it's sitting in there, like that. Let's see if we can see both at the same time. I think that's how it goes, because yeah, it does. And so that would mean this leg here, closest to the ferrite loop, is going to be the one that connects to that. If you look on the other side, it connects to the this connects to the antenna. I do know that. So that means that this is the coil and the oscillator. If you look, it runs directly over here to where the coil was. So we have a good confirmation that we're there. So again, split it over like that. That's how it's laid out. And that means that the loop, or the antenna, is this, and this would be the coil. So the oscillator coil. So that's where we need to connect it, and that's what we're going to do. So be back in a bit. I'm back with you again. It's 2:51 now in the afternoon. What I have here is the coil wire, not the coil wire, but the coil connection for the capacitor going over to the one that it's supposed to go to. And the other end is the ground, and that goes to the ground lug of the case of the coil, and also comes over here to the middle lug of the capacitor, which is also ground. And if you look here, there's a little nub sticking out here. Well, that nub goes up the top here, and I'm going to flip her over, and you can see this wire here sticking up. That's going to be the thing that goes around the capacitor like this, and also connects to the ground on this side. There'll be a ground bus over here. So that goes all the way around. I'm just going to use a wire for it, because that's the easiest way to do it. I just wanted to get that through here and get it to where I can connect to it. And like I said, I'm going to try to take it around the screws. I'll try to. I don't know how successful I'll be, but that's what I want to do. And so I'll bend that around there, and then once I do that, I'll take it this way, and then it can join here and then come back around. So that's what I'm doing now. I don't know if I mentioned the coil. I do have that soldered in. I have the ground lug here soldered in here, and there's nothing else connected at this time except for this one, which is goes to the tuning capacitor. Now this middle one will come across here because there's a nice wide open space there, and that's where the 10 nanofarad capacitor goes to ground, and also to the oscillator connection and to the emitter of the oscillator transistor. So it's kind of a complicated thing there, but I'm going to try to get that routed that way. That was pretty easy to do, I think. Now the two secondary, one goes to a capacitor, 1 microfarad capacitor to ground, and the other one goes to a V plus, or V battery, whatever you want to call that. And I don't know if I've probably gone backwards, but in fact I think I did. But anyway, that's what each one of them goes to. So that's where we're headed with that. But these are just connections that don't require any components, as it were, right now. So like I said, the ground connections here that were supposed to be there, and like I said, this will eventually tie over to the back of the or back at the bottom of the what do you call it, and it will also come out at the top here somewhere. And I don't know that I'll even connect it that way, but anyway, that's what we're looking at. And I thought I'd just bring you back for a quick update and show you what's going on. Alright, we're back with you on a Monday now. It is 11:25 in the morning. We back on this AM Superhet receiver. I don't know if you can see what I've done here, but I'll show you a little closer. And back that up a little bit. I took the this is coming out of the ground side here. Goes around the screw here, around up in here, and around here. That's pretty much basically grounding the screws, and I think that's complete enough to where it will be alright. I don't think there'll be a problem with that. And I really don't understand if that's even necessary, but I saw it on the circuit board of the other one, and I figure, you know, for Chinese or Japanese or whoever to add that much solder, there must be a reason. So I just figured there, you know, maybe need to be a little loop around it, and if need be, I could connect it back over here, but I think it's going to be fine just like it is. So anyway, that's what we're going to try first off and see how that works, and we'll go from there. But that pretty much completes all the wiring I can do on this without adding components. Alright, I've looked the situation over along with the schematic, and I think what I'm going to do is take and go back to my computer paint board of this and see if I can't run some wiring that way. I think it's much easier to do than to try to do it on board, or it is to me anyway. It may be easier for everybody else to do it the other way, but I like to see where I'm going and how I want to route it before I actually get in here and start trying to wire things up. It just helps me a lot, my thought process, or whatever you want to call it. But like I said, I just want to I'll take the schematic. Well, I have the schematic on the computer, and we'll transfer that to the board layout on the circuit board, or the perf board template that I have there on the you know, computer. So I know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to think of something else. But so let me do that, and I'll come back and bring you back the results of that, and we'll see how I want to wire this that way, and we can go from there. Good evening, YouTube. It is Monday evening, a little after 10 o'clock. I have been working most of the day on getting this layout done for the AM Superhet receiver that you see the schematic of. I did several versions and changes and things like that, and I think I finally got it the way I want it. And I think if you take a look up at the screen, you'll see that I have changed to that layout now, and you can see the various things that I'm using. The thing I wanted to emphasize most on this is the fact that I did include the bias part of the power supply in here, mainly because it is going to be run by battery on this version of it. I am going to build the other versions like I told you I was going to, with the separate boards, and that will have its own power supply, and that bias supply will be on that board. But for this one, we've made it up here at the top. You can see the 233 microfarad electrolytic caps up there, and the diodes, and they're part of that bias supply. So the rest of it's pretty straightforward, and it's just basically taken off of the schematic as it was. Now the blue lines that you see there are lines that I figure require alternate routing of the wires, and I just put them in that way so that I would know that the black wires should be soldered wires on the board, and that should be done first, and then we'll add those last ones in. Now the ferrite rod, obviously those will be the last thing to put on. Those just attach to those solder points there. One's the AGC, the green wire there, and the red one comes over to the oscillator, or the mixer, sorry, transistor there, which is in the middle there. So the yellow and the black are the loop for the radio antenna itself, and they connect to the tuning cap and to the ground. So that's the way they connect. So it looks like it's pretty good. Now it's a little difficult to see those IF cans and oscillator coil, but you'll see a red, like for the oscillator coil, you see a big red circle with a slash through it. That's the screw for the coil. And same thing with the yellow one for the first IF, the white one for the second IF, the blue one for the third IF. So that's how they're laid out there on the boards, just like I showed you before. So. Alright, that's going to do me on this one. I'm sorry this is so long. I wanted to get this all in before I gave up for the evening and get this, because I don't know exactly what's happening. I may be going to my mom's tomorrow because she may be moved back to VV tomorrow, and I just want to kind of have something in the can here, you know, keep you going. But once I get Bob is, I sent the final schematic and this board layout to Bob, and once he sees that, you know, it's kind of hard to proofread yourself, but if you got an extra set of eyes to do it, and he's been really good today to do that for me. I've sent him various revisions, and he's let me know what he thinks and stuff like that. He's found a couple problems. So anyway, that's going to do me for this evening. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you.